What's up, gang? What's up, gang? JaimeAstin. I doubt my doubt. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. To the people on the East Coast. I know it's 10 o'clock. Sorry. But it's only 7 o'clock here. People around the world, you know. You have to stay up or get up early. You're watching me. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for joining. This is my very first live stream. Oh, at the last second, we just today decided to do this. So you all want to thank somebody. You can thank SoCal English. Contacted me this morning. You're really nice live stream. Well, I've been thinking about doing one, and just didn't have the time. Schedule out. I mean, in the past, but so you know, he's right. No time better than today. Last second, go ahead. So whoever found it, go ahead and come on in. Thank you. I think we got Kodiak. We got the 707. Thank you all for joining. You all are coming. Sorry. The music was by my friend Mr. Bobby Rush. So we had two of those songs playing. So go ahead. The music is already down. Let's see who all is joined in. Because right now, there's SoCal. Let's see. The music was by my friend. Some of you all said you hear the music for SoCal. You hear it now. Let me know if you're good. Seems like everyone got some good music playing. So hopefully you all can hear me now. I don't think I've ever recorded video for you all. But this is me. I'm a blues man. I love the blues. SoCal, refresh. You can get it. They're doing pretty good. Refresh. All right. So our agenda today. Hopefully, you all don't mind. Take up maybe an hour of your time. And we're just gonna sit back, chat. I'm looking at the questions. If you all have any questions you all want to ask me, feel free to do so. I actually did a lot of preparation to get a lot of my gear and things close by. If you want me to show you something, just leave a comment. I'm watching it, and I will answer it. I will say hello. Other things we have some things I want to show you all. Some of my gear, some of my setup, things like that. And finally, we do have some new products to show you all. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh man, still just sweating. And finally, for some of you all might be joining me that's not watching me for anything fishing. Feel free to ask any question fishing related. I mean, gardening, car maintenance, what have you. Fishing is probably the main thing that most people are watching me for. But if there's any other thing, just feel free to ask me. Someone said what kind of fish is this? This is a bluegill. You all see me doing fishing for bass a whole lot. The bluegill is my favorite fish. That is my favorite fish. Not only to eat, but just to catch. To me, that is. They're so small, but if they had teeth, they would be worse than prawns. That's how aggressive they are. And grew up fishing for those, and they're just so fun to catch. So that's my favorite fish. All right. So I think one of the questions is that no matter where I go, I get the question. Hey, is that a GoPro? Is that a GoPro? To have the camera on my hat. I do not even own a GoPro. I probably own a lot of cameras over the past, and I have not owned a GoPro yet. Don't have anything against it, but I just haven't owned one. A lot of things I purchased. If you all haven't noticed already, fishing equipment, I'm always looking for quality, value. The quantity of the services that the product offers, make up the value. So I'm not always going to pay too much for someone else's marketing or anything like that. It's not the product. The good product is popular for a reason. But the cameras I use are Sony action cameras. Sony action cameras. And I have had probably about six Sony action cameras over the past. And I just got a new camera. This is the AS200. And one of the reasons why I got the AS200, I only paid $150 for it. But one of the features it has is noise reduction. And there's sometimes some comments for the videos. Hey, it would be really nice if there wasn't so much wind. And you can't always help the wind on a windy day. But this one should help reduce that. Uncle Steve makes a lot of videos. You all watch Uncle Steve. Very nice YouTuber. But he always uses an external microphone. Usually a sensor MP3 player, sends up his audio and things like that. And some other people out there they do that. That's a lot of work. So I commend him for that. But why do I use Sony action cameras? Currently I only have three. Some of you may know, but I flipped my kayak a few years ago, and 2 years ago, and I lost one of my cameras. Lost some really nice rods and reels and things like that. Giving some to my brother. But I have a lot of accessories for my Sony action cameras. And I just want to talk about Sony action camera for something else we're going to talk about in the end. I have a lot of accessories for my Sony action camera. Waterproof cases, remotes. So the cameras that are at the boat, at the rear, anything like that. I can control them with this on my wrist. I can see it, make sure I got the right view, things like that. For some other my videos, I have this little housing that makes it like a camcorder. So I can just pop one of these Sony action cameras inside of this and make this into a Handycam. So I show a lot of videos like that. And for those underwater scenes, the underwater scenes. This is my tripod mount. You all have seen this on the front of my kayak many times, and you know, it only goes up about a foot. When you're looking at the underwater, I have it upside down like this. And so this way I can get whatever underwater just a foot below or so. And it's really cool, you know. This camera housing only goes down 16 feet. It only goes down 16 feet. Just a regular camera housing that comes with the Sony action cameras. Another camera that I use, like Uncle Steve, is the Creative Vado cameras. So I'll use those. I also have this little Call of Duty camera. I haven't used it much, but this will be the one that will put in a bad situation that could easily get broken or something. So inexpensive camera. And I see some of you all questions. Thank you all, Justin, Henry, thank you all, Logan, thank you all for joining me. I got your questions coming, okay? Some of you all, I think some of you all are getting echo. I don't have any echo. I don't have any music or anything playing. So maybe it might be my computer sound bouncing off the monitors, but if it continues, then I'll go to a different audio. Put the mic on to the face. We'll go ahead and get that ready. Just in case. All right, so let's talk about since we're talking about cameras, I want to show you all the first product. I was contacted I think in February, and by company Team Fish. They make the cast systems. Done doing to do all watching. Please look him up. He does a lot of fishing, and he has a lot of cast systems as well, like fish finder mounts, things like that. Well, they emailed me, and I almost missed the email. And they said they had a camera mount they wanted me to use. Okay, well let's check it out. So I received it a few weeks ago. I haven't had the chance to use it yet. You all have been following the channel. I haven't video in about 3 weeks or so. I haven't been fishing. I've only fished one time since April. And just it's a little burnout. So I had other things going on. You get started with those. But the new product that we have. A little bit past prototype, and now we want to see how people are going to use it. It is the fish camera jig. What does it do, Jamie? This camera mount allows the camera to be put on the fishing line or on a road or anything like that, and be fished underwater. So you can put your fishing line, attach it to your diagram. Let's see. Here's a diagram of the various ways that mount this camera up. So what this will allow us to do is, I mean, some of those. You think about you're fishing with a certain lure, and to get that the moment that strikes the lure.
How cool would that scene be? Or even if you're bait fishing for trout, catfish, things like that. You put your bait out there. You just have it sitting, but you have your camera mounted on it. Now Uncle Steve has tried with one of his SJ cams to get the strike. When the little fish are going after his bait and things like that, he'll put his camera in the water. But this would allow us to go down really deep. So since my original Sony camera mounts only go down about 16 feet, I'm gonna get trying to get this into deeper water as far as the light to go. I bought a new waterproof housing for my Sony cameras too. You know, this thing goes down. I forgot. Let's see how it goes down way more than 16 feet. And not only does it go down way more than 16 feet, it has a flat lens like the GoPro does for better underwater shots. So my next set of underwater shots, hopefully you all will really enjoy them because I plan to get some action shots. Not just swimming around or anything like that. We plan to get some real action shots. And just other views to check out what's down below. There are so many times, even on the fish finder, I said, maybe that's a tree, maybe that's a bush or anything like that. Now I drop the camera down right on top of it and see just what's going on. All right, so we still got some echo. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll go ahead and put the mic on. All right, just one second. We're gonna change the settings. We're gonna stop the stream and bring it right back up so we can let those settings take effect. All right, so you all should be. Okay, so yeah, it was the first. Thank you, Kodiak. It was the first time streaming, so I tried to do a little testing beforehand, and but thank you all for understanding. You know, if you're getting anything, let me know if you can hear me better now. Okay, that's a lot better. Thank you. All right. You know, I don't know if it's an old Logitech webcam, and even with Skype videos, sometimes I come through like a chipmunk. I just have to replace it and trust a real audio source versus using a one built into the housing. Great, way better. So, so I hope you all at least got a chance to hear me talk about the fisheye camera jig. We'll talk about it just a little bit more toward the end. So I'm going to go up and look at some of the questions. Hook'em Heavy says, what's the name of that song to put in the video? It's if it's night fishing, the song I'm going night fishing. That's the song titled "Night Fishing" by Bobby Rush. Night Fishing by Bobby Rush. And the song before that was "Rock This House" by Bobby Rush. Let's see. What kind of fish is that? What's my favorite spot to fish at? My favorite spot. So, if you're talking about my favorite spot as in, lake or location, my absolute favorite lake to fish at. I'll go ahead and say it. My favorite lake to fish at is Eagle Lake in Arkansas. Eagle Lake. Eagle Lake is yeah. Eagle Lake is this muddy, muddy lake. There are only a few videos, or 1 or 2 videos, where I've shown you all this place. It is my absolute favorite place to fish. It has big fish in it. It's not really fish. You have to go deep into the woods to get to it. And, you know, I have some of my best memories fishing there. Best memories. So, outside of that, favorite spots to fish at, I'm not really a deep water fisherman. So, even in the lakes when they get really deep, that's probably something I need to watch more of you all on, how to fish deep water using the fish finder and things like that. My favorite zones to fish at are probably around 8 feet, give or take a little bit of that. That's usually where I find the bass. It's just very easy to fish those spots. Fish closer to shore or structure, as you all know. In California, I'm still learning these bodies of water, and Lake Oroville is a good lake. I haven't fished there in years, but when I used to fish here, when I moved out here, it was a nice lake, very nice lake. Dan Foley, of course, you all know I like to fish that. San Pablo is a really, really tough reservoir. San Pablo made me just about stop fishing when I moved out here. I said, wow, there is hardly any structure. It's mostly sand and rock, and it is just, it was such a tough lake to fish for me. And, I would do okay fishing, and but it wasn't until I got my kayak. It wasn't until I got my kayak that things turned around for me at that lake. And I started fishing it more. I definitely paid my dues to actually start finding the bass and really learn how they react. There's always a wind going through there and a little current and things like that. But I've definitely learned a lot more how to fish that lake. The new body of water, is Lake Hennessy. Hook 'em Heavy 707. If you watch his videos, he's always killing them there. And that lake is fantastic. If it wasn't such a, it's like a hour away from me or something, but I would be out there a little bit more. That lake is fantastic, and I've just skimmed the surface. You saw the last video from April 30th where the bluegill were just fighting, and the bass were really killing too. The bass were everywhere, but I've been after the bluegill for a while, and after these last 2 trips, I'm satisfied. I can go back to the bass or start doing crappie or something like that. So, yeah. So let's see. What is my favorite lure to fish with? Whew. I have a lot of lures. I have a lot of fishing things, like all of you do. The favorite lure, trying not to follow through with just what's been going on the last 2 years. The Ned rig is fantastic. The Ned rig is really fantastic. I really think that you cannot beat a plastic worm if you're first starting off, or if you've been fishing for years. You're just not going to beat a plastic worm. I like the spinner bait, but when it comes to lures, and we'll talk about this. This is I picked this lure up. I think April. Savage Gear. Line through 3D trout. And I have it rigged up with braided line going through it, attached to the hook. And I have the hook going through the top, because right now, especially Dan Foley, is full of weeds. So I have this braided line attached to a barrel swivel. And why do I have that? I have that because I use small snaps, so I can quickly change out my lure. And So to put this thing on there, I don't want to have to keep retying it on there, especially depending on the rod and things like that. So this makes it a lot easier to swap on. And no, I haven't caught anything with it yet. I think I've only used it twice, and I really wasn't even fishing with it. I have another. I have an S-Waver, S-Wave swim bait. But the reason why I showed you that is because I really do not like to fish with big lures. I know everyone says big lures, big fish, you know, and you're either going to get a big one or you don't get anything at all. I fish for number. That's what I do. I fish for number. And the thing is, a big fish will get an easy meal just like they would if they were working on a big easy, looking for a big fish for a meal, you know, so. You'll catch it. There have been too many times, you know, in years before I've caught big fish using small lures. You know, they're opportunists just like the small guys are. You know, especially, you know, sometimes you're catching you're catching fish on, you know, small bait. You find a school of them or anything like that. And the big ones will push the smaller ones out because they see all the action going on over there, and they might push them out to go and see what's going on. So I like to use smaller lures. Spinner baits, they're always fun too, but it just all depends on the application and the time of year. I mean, really, if you didn't think so, you go fishing and you're using that same lure outside of a plastic worm. I really don't know a lure that will work year round. You know, even the Ned rig starts to slow down. I've noticed. I've only been fishing with it for over a year now, but it'll start to slow down as well. So. My first bass, probably a night crawler. The first bait I used when I caught my first bass. The night crawler is one of my favorite live baits to use. Just because you can break it apart and use it. So the first lure I ever caught a bass on was a plastic worm. And the funny thing about that is that when I started fishing, I was always live bait. Saw the lures, that stuff is garbage. I'll never use it. Now I'm young. I started, you know, 4 and 5. And I was like, I would never use it. Why would a fish eat this plastic thing, you know? And so my brother, we were fishing one day. My younger brother found this pink plastic worm on the ground. And he said, Jamie, look what I found. And I was like, okay. He's like, put it on. I was like, man, you're not going to catch anything, blah, blah, blah. He threw that thing out there, and about 3 casts, he caught a nice bass. I was floored, just... They work. And so I took it from him. I took that worm from him. I put it on, and I worked it all day and didn't catch a thing, you know. And after that, though, so Mom took us to the store. We bought some plastic worms, and then I started catching bass on the plastic worms. And it was a few other baits I would use, but it was always a soft plastic worm that would get the bass. My first big bass I ever caught was on a crankbait. Now, I just said I don't like to use big lures, but it was a big crankbait. It was a deep diving crankbait, and it was on my younger brother's birthday. And I was using that little Swede steel rod, stainless steel rod. You all have seen me use in a few videos. I was using that. So, yeah, I see the stream status says it's good, so, but it did dip down for, Justin, you said it kind of buffered a little bit. It did dip down, I saw that. I think for the new fishing live bait that I am really into now, just because the way the fish were killing at Lake Hennessy, was the mealworm. I just couldn't believe from the lure to the different baits I tried, night crawlers, things like that. It was a mealworm that as soon as it hit the water, within seconds they would grab it. That was almost like fishing with crickets. Crickets are just, I mean, fish eat bugs. I don't know how many worms get in the water, but bugs definitely get in the water. So, you know, we know that those are good. Is everyone, let's see, some of you saying it's buffering, is it still good? Can you all hear me? Can you see me? Comment, just shoot a comment. I'll type it in there just to make sure. Alright, thank you, Henry. You enjoy my kayak videos. You know, yeah. Maybe you all. I think I have a. I know I have a delay on it. So if you all just maybe just pause it for a second. And says everything is good right now. So I'm still here. I'm just trying to monitor, make sure the stream is going good. Now it says we're not receiving any data. So I see what you all are talking about, but it came back, it went instantly, went right back. So 25K. Let's see. Max bit. What? Let's see if that'll do that. Alright, so the health is good. It's fucking bad video won't play. So it froze on you, Kodiak. Again, we're good, but I do. I'll just pause just for the video to come back for anyone that's experiencing problems. I truly hate when there are technical problems. I truly hate that person, you know. All right. Alright, it's back. You all see me? Okay, great. Alright, sorry about that. I stopped the player. I did see that it was dropping about 70% of the frames. So we stopped that. And alright. So other than thank you all for all the feedback on the drop videos and things like that. Any questions? Any questions so far? Any any comments? Any feedback? Definitely for you all watch me. So is there anything I can do make the videos better for you? Anything we can do to any new content we can bring to you? I started these videos just because I was watching some of you all out there, and your videos and you fishing. Really YouTube and watching people fish is what got me back into it. It 100% got me back into it. Watching other people, especially Uncle Steve. He just has so much fun out there. And, then I was looking at Zoffinger for his Poor Man's Kayak series when I first got my kayak. I thought that was amazing. Now he's way more advanced in the Poor Man's Kayak. But, I got a lot of tips from him. My bait caster, I've used pretty much the Pflueger Purist bait caster. Pflueger Purist baitcaster. I've had 2 of them. One of them lost, one of them I sold. I'm actually looking to get a new baitcaster. I have a Lew's Speed Stick carbon rod that I don't have paired up with the baitcaster right now. So I'm actually looking to find a new baitcaster, but I've got to do a whole lot of testing with that thing. Yeah, Uncle Steve, he's a heck of a guy. Amazing guy. I mean, the guy is brilliant, honestly. He is brilliant. You let him listen to a lot of his car ride videos and his experience in life. I don't know why he's, educating us the way he is, but he's putting a lot of stuff out there that is just fantastic. One of the things with YouTube, go Sharks. Go Sharks, I don't think the Warriors are going to go any further. I've been looking at the reels. I will look at the Alexa. You say get the Alexa, so I'll take a look at that. But YouTube videos. When I see Uncle Steve videos and I see so many likes, and I go over to the corner, I see 1 dislike or 2, and I just wonder how. I know we all have different tastes and things like that. I really wish YouTube would turn around and instead of just liking or disliking a video, especially for a dislike, I wish you could comment to say what you didn't like about it. Because obviously, I would love feedback. So if there's something I did or that you didn't like, then I would like to correct in the next videos and things like that. I don't know. I think there's a whole lot of trolls on YouTube and things like that. I personally don't like to dislike a video. If I don't like it, I'll probably just leave it null, If I like it, I will like it to let that person know, keep on going, you're doing a good job. I do game on PC. I game a little bit. Have my Steam account. I game on Xbox, PlayStation, things like that. So if you want to find me online, pretty much JaimeAstin. I try to have a clean online presence, and whether it's YouTube or any of the forums I'm on, it's JaimeAstin. So Xbox, JaimeAstin, PlayStation, JaimeAstin, Steam, JaimeAstin. If you want to find me on there, you can do that. And I don't always have a whole lot of time to game anymore. I really wish back in the day, those days were good when you come home from school or what have you, you just turn on the computer and game. These days, I don't have time to game. If I have time, I probably want to go fishing. Flipmaster said he in a live stream he didn't like Uncle Steve because he talks in the third person. I think that is truly a characteristic of Uncle Steve when he does that. I think he's almost a lot of times he's speaking for us, and I think that is a unique thing that makes him different from a lot of people. He's not out there trying to jig or dance around. He will upload a 30-minute video with him talking or eating barbecue. I don't think I could put a video up when you all would watch me eat barbecue and talk. I don't think so. Maybe you would. I don't know. I watch Stranger Things on YouTube. Shout out to my nephew KDMC Plumbing. He just had a birthday May 1st, and he has a very unique YouTube video as well, video channel. Since he was a young child, he just loved toilets, and so he collects toilets and urinals and things like that, and he has a whole system set up where he flushes things down these different toilets, and you think that's strange, but he has a following of people. He has more people than me. He's been doing YouTube for more years than I have, and there are a lot of people that do that. And you would think this is a product, number one, that everyone uses every day. And he has all of this knowledge now about this whole system. He's even, designing, different toilets and things like that. And so I mean, that's amazing. Really, if I was building a house, I would want to. I don't buy anything without researching it, so I would have to research a toilet so he has a full catalog. So check him out. Have I ever been saltwater fishing? Not really. I have fished off the bay. I have even fished off the beach in Kauai, and I didn't catch anything in the bay. All I caught was a crowd. But I'm gonna have to really get with someone who knows how to fish in the salt water, and so I can learn. You know, that is so foreign for me. You all didn't know I'm originally from Arkansas, and there is no salt water. So I'm a freshwater fisherman to the core. I love to fish a big lake. And that's okay. I'd rather fish a small pond deep in the woods somewhere, or a farm pond. You can't beat a farm pond. You know, you really can't beat a farm pond if you can ever get the opportunity to fish on some land that people don't really fish on. You know, the fishing is, the action is hot. You know, so you know, fish tanks. I used to have a few fish tanks. I've had a few in the past, and they're tough to maintain. They're so pretty. Honestly, my dream would be to have a large fish tank with bluegill and bass and things like that, but probably mainly bluegill. Just, I would love to see them. A lot of people say bluegill are really messy. A lot of freshwater fish are messy to have in an aquarium, so you know, it's already hard to keep a saltwater fish tank, you know, active. I mean, my last fish tank, my last and the one before that, I killed all the fish. You know, they were doing really good, and one day I bought some new plants. It was overrun by snails, and man. I like the panther. Do you have any fish tanks? I don't know where to describe him. It's unique. Write it in the comments, but most people probably take it wrong. Fish in the Sierras and the freshwater lakes. Yeah, you're right. That SoCal angler, that's a great point. I mean, that's what I tell people. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever live in California. I'm like, you don't get it. That's the beauty about this place. I can go right now and fish in saltwater. I can go fish freshwater. I can go into the mountains. 2 hours. I'll be right there. You know, everything is so close right here in the Bay Area. And you know, I meet some people in the Bay Area that have not even left, you know, the Bay Area in a sense, and just stay in this one spot. And it's like, man, you know, people would, you know, really like to be in a place where they could go in so many different areas within 2 hours. Within 2 hours, you can get, you know, from hot to cold, you know, things like that. So, you had a big bluegill in your 100 gallon. It died today? Oh, that's no good. You know, I don't like to hear a bluegill die. Oh man, that's cool. You have one in your tank. All right. Yeah, hook me up on Steam. You know, I like I like shooters, but I don't like to just go around in games. We're talking PC games real quick. I like shooters, but I more so like co-op games. So anything we can play some team stuff on, that's what I'm all down for. I love to chat and have somebody's back or they have mine. Probably one of my favorite games of the last few years was Borderlands 2. I still have that, and I play it on various systems. Yeah, unless I cooked it, then you know, if I caught the bluegill and to keep it, to eat it, I make sure I honor that fish as best I can by eating every bit that's edible on it. And but I hate to, you know, when you're fishing and you don't want to keep a fish, and you know, it turns around and it dies because of a hook or something, or it's, you know, it's really hurt after being caught. That's a terrible feeling, you know, or to take a fish eye out. And I hate when things like that, and that's even fishing with a barbless hook. It just snags it like that. You know, I don't like to kill things unless I really want to eat it. Yeah. I play bass. I have my regular guitars. Learning on that. Piano. Um, Harmonica. I mess around and all those little things, So, let's see. We got the. I like your pan fry video. Yeah, thank you. Something Southern. Something Southern. Thanks for joining as well. SoCal Angler wants me to do another video. So he said, hey, do another video with those bluegills. Cook those bluegills. So I just came up with a new recipe. Wasn't really mine, but I said I looked in I think it was a Field and Stream book, and he said some people in Oklahoma were cooking carp. Now, a lot of people say, I don't want to eat carp. I've never had carp personally. I've heard it's bony. I've heard all these different things about it. It's a big goldfish, so think about eating a goldfish. I don't know. But they said the way they were able to make it edible and actually a treat for people to actually start going to this restaurant to eat it, they would soak it in milk for a day or two, and then they were taking the meat and making fish cakes. So I thought about a lot of the fish cakes. I mean, crab cakes I get around here, and sometimes you get a crab cake and it's all bread or with potato and no crab. So I made a new fish cake. I was using trout and I was using bass. I eat bass. I know some people don't like that, but bass tastes really, really good. And the way you cook them, you can fillet a bass and then snip the tail off and everything up to the ribs, and you have that nice rib. The spine portion, you can fry that as well and get the meat off the bone. It's really good. But I made fish cakes with those, and they were good. So maybe that'd be the next video. We'll do some fish tacos or fish cakes. Juanello, you all watch Juanello, he posts a video pretty regularly every Sunday, trying to catch the eye of Miss Lulu. He has a lot of good fishing. Yeah, carps are a big thing in Asia and Europe. At Dan Fuller, there are a couple European guys out there that like, what do you fish for? And I'm like, oh, I'm after the bass. They're out there for the big carp. A lot of people they want to catch a record-sized fish. So carp is a nice way to catch a big fish, whether you're not gonna eat it or not. So yeah. I do, I respect life, so it's not just the fish, my family, they hunt, deer and everything else, from bow hunting to muzzle loading, rifle, everything, and I would hunt too if I, really like venison and things like that, but that was one of the things that I said I was going to do, possibly this year, was actually go deer hunting again. And so maybe I'll go back home to do the whitetail, do it on join my uncle's hunting club. Yeah, don't forget the desert and the snow. Yeah, you can go to the desert and burn up. I mean, one time I was when I first drove out here, and I moved out here, my brother and I stopped. And the ground was so hot, it felt like my shoes were going to melt. And it was so hot. It was so hot. That was a rough ride. But then next thing you know, you can go up into the mountains or somewhere and freeze with the snow. California, the Bay Area is pretty amazing. Yeah, cod. Let's see, rock cod and lean cod. You all want to know something? Especially for you guys out here. I've not caught a striper yet. So Kevin, Hook 'em Heavy, I see you all catching stripers and everything. I have to finally go striper fishing. I have to do that. The times I've gone out there fishing with bait, I don't think I was using the right stuff. I definitely didn't get any. So Kodiak. I try to tell people, deer meat. For a lot of people inland, a lot of people out here, California. Let's talk about the California style. Shoot, I've met too many vegans and everything. That's fine. I don't care. I'm an omnivore. I like meat and plants, but a lot of people don't realize how deer hunting is it's such a, I can't think of the word right now, but it's such a good thing. It not only controls the population, because a lot of those places back home, you know, the deer will, man, so many car accidents in the Bay Area. Every single day there's a car accident. People can't drive, is what I say. Out there inland, the deer, people are hitting deer all the time. So if the hunters aren't out there taking care of those deer, and we don't have, you know, the predators like a bear or something like that to keep the deer in check, you know, I mean, man, they will overrun. They're almost as bad as rabbits. So, you know, outside of that, deer meat feed a lot of people. A lot of people who hunt, they're not out there to poach. They're not out there to poach. They get the deer. You got deer jerky, steaks, ground, you know, meat, things like that. So I mean, it's very, very conservative to hunt, and it's very sustaining for not only the people but everything else. So. Let's see. Younger bought some fish, and the fish one of y'all died. Yeah, used it. Used to play bass, but got big. Hit bass. Yeah, bass, and you know, keeping the fish like that in the aquarium. You know, you gotta get you a big tank for that. I appreciate you guys doing that real talk. Oh wow. Santa Cruz boat round, 125 all day. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Yellowtail tuna, halibut. I like halibut. Catfish I'll eat. You fry it up, but not your favorite. Yeah, we're gonna get some videos. There's some, you know, halibut is good, very clean. You know, that's what I would like to catch if I fish saltwater. I would love to catch a halibut. And yeah, deer meat. The funniest thing ever happened to me while fishing. Oh man. I think my brother would do better telling these stories. They're probably embarrassing. When you're out there fishing in the woods, a lot of things happen. Probably when I was younger. I mean, I love to fish. I want to go and I want to stay all day. And I don't want to leave when I go fishing. And everyone knows that. That's Jacqueline. That's why she doesn't go with me much, because she's ready to go once the sun starts going down, and I'm not ready to go. And but if you want to see me go, let something bad happen. I'm ready. I'm done. And so one day I was fishing with my brother, and I had a cheap little 202 reel, Zelco 202, and it was just jacked up, and I cast it out, and I think the reel flew off, and I started crying, and so he was kind. He let me use his, and I broke his too. One time, before I bought that sweet little stainless steel rod, I went fishing, and man, you talking about, I was so anxious to get out there, and we got out there. My brother started catching fish, and I couldn't, and my reel broke again. It was a different reel, but a 202. Man, I've had too many 202s, and they've all failed. But man, I think I threw that thing in the woods. I was so upset, and I cried again. So yeah. A few weeks ago, I went fishing. This is the thing, you know, for you float tube guys out there. Put stuff back. One of my most effective tools to use is this vest, and what happens with it is, if I don't put things back where it goes, I'll leave it in my lap. Whenever I'm getting out of the water, I stand up, drop everything out. So I've lost plenty of knives. Like that. So you know, it's it's pretty bad. I have to think some more funny stories. I use Z-Man lures. I don't know if you all have not touched the Z-Man plastic lure. Let me pull one out for you real quick. These are probably, man, I call these candy for bass. Z-Man Crusties. I love them so much. I just love these little things. They're just little jigs, you know. Probably an inch and a half, 2 inches, you know. But Z-Man, they call it a Lazatech. These things stretch out and stretch and stretch. And the more they wear out, the more effective to me they are. They get the little holes in it, so if you put any attractant or anything on there, they will just stay on there. You want to use a Z-Man hook though. Z-Man lures don't do very well with just regular jig heads and things like that. So you want to buy a Z-Man jig head or something, because they have this little hook at the back of it that will dig down into it, so you can push a Z-Man lure all the way on the jig head, and it will stay right there. And the bass can just tear them up or do whatever. A lot of other soft plastic, now I don't exclusively use anything. So I'll use regular plastic lures too, but a lot of times with them, once they break or get a crack in or something like that, it's done. It's going to continue to just fall apart. With the Z-Man, it just lasts and lasts and lasts, and I'll use a Crusties until both of the arms fall off. I mean, really, those arms are the killer feature on this lure. You throw it in there and just let it fall, and it's slow. It kind of falls a little slow, and those arms are just doing that. And I mean, within seconds when they're active, you know, summertime to fall, that's when these things really work. So yeah, I use a Lazatech. Z-Man. Yeah. My cousin did something similar like that with his crankbait, and it got hooked right through his finger or his thumb. So that's crazy. Favorite brand of fishing rod. I don't really have a favorite brand of fishing rod. Like I said earlier, if you all heard me, if you got the chance to hear me, I'm not really always big on buying certain brands. I mean, once it proves itself to me, it's really good, but I'm always looking for value. So my favorite fishing rods, I have a lot of Berkeley Lightning rods right now. That's probably the most of one type of rod I've ever just owned and kept buying. I love those rods. I just like a nice, depending on the application, I like a nice stiff rod. I like to feel whatever I'm fishing with. So I mean, I have many types of rods and things like that. But my favorite probably gonna have to be something that's a little stiff, fast action. You know, I just feel everything right at that tip. I mean, when it does it, that's why some of my videos I say I watch the line or something. It's like I feel every single thing all the way down to the end of my rod. I feel it, and when I reel in. Sometimes I don't know if you all see it, but I only use like 2 fingers when I reel in. I'm really light to the touch, depending on the application. Even just because everything is memory for me, I say, especially on those days. I mean, you all don't see. Sometimes I go out and it's just a rough day. I don't catch anything. And it's like, dang. Some days you feel like you're on top of the world, and some days you feel like, man, you have never caught a fish in your life. So, you know, some of you, a lot of people like to laugh at my videos, like the catfish video, and think, oh my goodness. You know, I act like I've never caught a fish before, because every fish I catch is exciting, no matter how big or small. It is exciting. I mean, it's gotten so bad some days that it's truly like I am addicted. A lot of people say I am, you know, and that borderline, man. Fishing is down to my core, and but some days my hands are doing this when I get out there, and I can't even put a lure on. I'm just like, okay, calm down. You're out here, just fish, you know. But it just makes me so excited. Even driving to a new lake, and once I see the water, oh my goodness, I can't wait to get out there. I can't wait to get out there. I mean, fishing is that important, you know, for me. All right, I couldn't release catfish. Should be all the ducks and trolls. Yeah, you know, probably not. You know, it's important for all fish to keep the fish in check, you know. And I don't know, maybe you all can help me out with this. I think trout planting affects the bluegill population. Everywhere that I've fished out here in California, of course, where they plant these trout, the bluegill population is not strong. They're not either big, they're not strong, you know, they're harder to catch. I think the trout are taking them out just like the bass are going after them. So they're being two predators in the water. I don't know. So I think there's a correlation there. I don't know. Maybe you all can help me out with that, but I think there is. I don't. I've never been a big trout fisherman, but I'm learning to fish more for trout, and doggone it, they're not really fun to catch on lures. They're strong fighters. They're surprisingly strong. I never thought they were that strong. Yeah, what's up, Anthony? Saw you a couple weeks ago, and I only caught one fish that day, a bluegill. I didn't stay out there long, but man, Dan Foley is full of weeds right now. And yep, yeah, yeah. Yeah, everyone knows. I mean, like y'all say, you can't be too addicted to fishing. You cannot be too addicted to fishing. I don't know if trout only like oily fish or not, but the day I caught the trout on a crankbait, I maybe thought it was chasing a bluegill or something. I couldn't believe I caught a trout on a crankbait. And then I caught the trout on the Mad Rig. I mean, it's like, wow, they're aggressive fish. I thought, yeah, Castmaster or something, but wow, the reason why I can't wait to catch my first bass. Yeah, Justin, that little creek in your backyard, I would probably be out there every day. I mean, if I had that, growing up in my backyard like that, I mean, man. I mean, that's the thing, I've always loved fishing so much. I mean, in the country, some of the roads had wooden bridges. You're not a whole lot of traffic on a little dirt road. My mom was kind. She was very kind to us, and we would stop. Mom, stop on this bridge, just so I could throw rocks in the water. I would throw rocks in the water to see if anything would move. Any body of water, I'm always thinking, what's in there? I want to find out what's in there. I'll go down and catch crawfish or tadpoles, or I found leeches or little suckers or things like that in creeks. Oh my goodness. Any body of water. I love fishing. I love fish. They just get me excited. That's why, like Uncle Steve's video where he's exploring these little small creeks, they get me excited, because a lot of people think, I'm gonna go to a big lake and I'm gonna do this. It's like, man, don't discount the small bodies of water, Yeah, we're gonna get out and fish, man. We hook 'em heavy. We gotta get out. You all are hitting the square bills and the trout on the rattler trout, that's awesome. The trout eat the baby fry. Yeah, I think the trout, I've underestimated the trout. I have underestimated the trout my whole life. I think just because in Arkansas, to get to the trout, you have to go up into the mountains and such, for brown trout and things like that. So I live in southern Arkansas. The water was always way too warm for them and things like that. So and there were no trout plants. When you had the fish derby, they planted catfish and things like that. So out here they plant trout. Everywhere you go, they plant trout, and everyone loves it. So it's been amazing. I do want to go up probably somewhere to some mountain stream and go after some real trout, some native trout, and see how they are. I was a few years ago. I was at Cougar Creek off of Berryessa, and I just saw these trout in the stream. They were huge, and so that would be awesome. I have to get my fly fishing technique down. That is not so easy. Spotted trout. What's that trout? Oh, how the speckled trout or spotted. Yeah, so you catch that lightning trout down there on that video. I was like, wow, I've never even heard of a lightning trout. I know there's plenty of hybrids. They're always crossbreeding and things like that. I want to show you all something else real quick. It's getting close to the summertime, you know, and a product that I got in January. And y'all seen all of my cooler videos and things like that, and I can't believe, you know, out of all my videos, you would think that it would be you all with those fishing videos, but the highest view videos are for those coolers, and that wasn't what I set out to do. So you know, a lot of people watch those cooler videos, and that's really cool. When I do research, I go for user feedback for anything I buy. So any way I can help someone else make sure their dollar goes farther, I'm always trying to help with that as well. So that's why I'll give a good review, and shoot, I'll put out bad reviews too if it's bad. But I review the product, not the service at the store, not this or that. You know, how my day went. I review the product itself. So anywho, new product I want to talk about. Cooler cap. Now, I think this thing is doggone amazing. You say, well, what is it? What is the cooler cap? What is the cooler cap? Looks like a seat cushion, right? You could use it as a seat cushion. It's just foam material. But it's kind of like a special foam. It's almost like a gym mat, but way different. It's pliable. It's really special. I think it's patented material. But Vern over at Cooler Cap, he emailed me, you know, way back in the summer of last year, and he was like, "Hey, I got this product. You know, you're talking about coolers, but the problem with coolers is that it's not the insulation of the cooler." He said that the problem with coolers is the air inside the cooler. See, a lot of times people, me included, I'm gonna buy this, you know, big cooler, and you're only storing half of it with ice or fish or drinks or what have you, and you have all this air inside of it. Every time you open that cooler up, you let that cold air out and the warm air in. If you all, you know, physics, I think it is, you know, think about the circulation of heat, hot and cold, and how it has to really, the temperature has to drop, you know. Well, the cooler cap eliminates all that, and I am not, this is not a product endorsement. You know, I'm telling you all this because I think it's on a science level, I think this is doggone cool. And so how does it work? The way it works is you put your contents, your ice, inside of your cooler, and so instead of you having to fill up your cooler with ice, you fill it up to whatever level that you want it to, you put this on top of it. It's pliable to where it seats all the way down inside your cooler. So what does this mean? It means that you don't have to doggone buy a super expensive cooler. You know, when we think about a lot of the cheaper coolers, you close your lids. Number one, they don't have a gasket around the lids. Number two, the lids are usually filled with air. They're not even filled with foam. I mean, literally, you squeeze it, it just squeezes in. You know, they have a little foam on the side of it. Well, this will make even a cheap cooler retain ice because you're lowering the zone that the ice needs to maintain. So every time you open it and before you close it, you put this in it and you close it down, it's only keeping this zone cold. It's not having to keep the whole cooler and all that air. It doesn't have to keep recirculating and keeping the air. Cooler cap. So in January, what I did was I tested this. I tested this product with my Stanley 30-quart cooler, and you all saw those videos with me testing that against the Pelican. I got 2 days extra using the cooler cap. I didn't post a video because it was in the winter time, and I really want to do this. I'm gonna actually show you all me really using this in July. I'm taking this with me on a trip. And we're going to really be using this, so I really want to just introduce it to you all. I'll probably go ahead and show my testing video later on, but I think this thing is really doggone cool. For the two products that I talked about today, the cooler cap and the make sure I get the name right, the fish eye camera jig. You know, I'm going to put some information up for you all. One of the things I've been wanting to do, I've been really slow. I didn't tell you all about it. Some people have found it. But JaimeAstin.com, I've had that for years, but I never use it. But we're going to really start putting up more content on JaimeAstin.com. At the end of my videos, I'm going to say, hey, for more information about something, because a lot of times with the video, I try to be respectful of your time and not post too long of a video, and I'm trying to do better about cutting stuff out that's redundant or not going to help you out or anything like that. But there are some times where there's more information, more pictures. Maybe I want to tell you more that I didn't say in the video. I want to follow up with text. So I'm going to start adding blog entries on JaimeAstin.com for you all, and that's where I'm going to be able to talk about more things I'm getting, especially fishing lures. A lot of times I buy new fishing lures, new reels, new rods, new whatever, or I have a new technique I want to show you all, and I don't get a chance to do that on the video. I just go out there and I fish. So I want to show you all that. I'll give you the opportunity to come back, and so we can actually, when you ask me a question on things, I can actually go into detail and show you something, maybe even write up a diagram or something for you. Another thing I'm going to let you all have is I'm going to post up the diagrams for these items, especially like the cooler cap. You can go to coolercap.com. Coolercap.com. You can check out his ratings. He does his own testing. Other people have tested the product as well. But it's all real life, how you're going to use it. So let's see. Yeah, cooler. Yeah, thank you all. Thermodynamics. Cute cat. Coleman from Factory Store works for me. Yep. Yeah. And here's the deal, people. Like I said, I got those cooler videos because number one, I bought the Pelican for only $124. That was just, it was a good deal. But a cooler is a cooler. It's all about how you're going to use it. So even if you're buying a really inexpensive cooler, a lot of people are only using a cooler for a day. In the end, when you start to need that cooler for more than a day because you're camping or you're actually in the woods hunting and you need to get that, make sure that meat stays fresh, that's when you start investing. A lot of times people are buying, the new design, the way the world works now with marketing is that the word premium is a huge selling point. Back in the day, it was the word bargain or deal or things like that. So everyone was trying to buy something at the lowest price they could. Now you put premium behind it. Look at your cell phones. People, oh, my cell phone is old or it's not as good as yours because you think that one's premium. When guess what? Everyone is doing the same thing with it. Shooting a text. And every device can do that. So every cooler can keep your eyes on your contents. You just need to match it up for what you're using it with, And that's why I think this product is actually pretty doggone cool. The cooler cap is only $20, and there's a larger version for $29, and you just cut it to the length of your cooler. What I'm doing is I'm not even cutting it at all, because I stuff it in and I fold in one of the other sides, so I can make it smaller just by folding it in, and it fits both of my coolers. And that's the real solution. Is not adding all of this bulk and heaviness to your cooler. The real solution is to lower that zone that it has to keep cool. And now you got two zones. You can actually keep stuff on top of it without it getting cold or wet. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, as long as whatever it is you have, just you buy it for you. I don't get anything to fit in a club or to try to get someone's attention. I buy it because I see a value or I see a real use in it. My last few phones, I haven't paid more than $150 for it. That's for a new phone, and that's not with a contract or anything. I try not to be in a contract ever again. You're only doing. We've really reached the ceiling when it comes to cell phones and technology, as far as what they're all doing the same thing. A cheap $10 phone, really, literally, I have a $10 phone that does everything this one does. It was a Motorola E. Yeah, there are gonna be some things that are a little bit different, like camera or things like that. But really, we're at that point. Guns, knives, multi-tools, fishing gear. That's I like all of that stuff too. They're all tools. That's one of my things is having the right tool for the right job. You know, it's just the right tool. That's what gets me excited. That's why how probably too much of everything. Yes, one could get away with using just one fishing pole. You know, sometimes every time someone, why you have so many fishing poles? Where I'm like, there's a difference between each one of them. You know, but yeah. It's ironic that you're watching on the iPhone 6. Yeah, hey, you get what you want. That's just the bottom line. I just get what you want and use it up and abuse it. Don't let these products. You want to know a funny story? Here's the deal. 2 years ago, when I first got my kayak, I was probably within the 5th time using it. I flipped that thing. You know why I flipped it? This is the stupid part. I flipped the kayak because I was getting close to this rock wall and I didn't want to scratch my kayak up. I didn't want it to scratch up against the wall. So I used my paddle to push off the wall. Stupid move. It didn't push me off the wall. It pushed my center of gravity, balance. It pushed me out, flipped over. Instead of getting a scratch on my kayak, I ended up losing my Shimano fishing rods, Fluger reels, cameras. I lost a lot of gear. All went down because I didn't want to get a scratch. And that's the thing when I see people, especially kids, you know, they have their cell phone. And oh no, I don't want to drop my cell phone, or don't touch it, don't scratch it up, you know. And it's like, you know, people will lose their life over a device. We got to get out of that. You know, I learned my lesson. I just gotta let things go. You know, these products don't control me. And yeah. Yeah, the only thing truly stainless is replace the carbon with nitrogen. I'm making this mess. Yeah, I believe that. You know, you buy something stainless steel so many times, then next thing you know, it rusts or it stains or what have you. Or they have the, oh, don't get lemon on it, or don't get this chemical on it, you know. Because, yeah. No, that's awesome, son, or something. You know, I love that. How is my mom doing? My mom is doing fine. My mom is doing fine. I was on the phone with her. She might be watching this. I don't know how to tell how many viewers I have right now, but she was watching my garden video earlier. I probably talk to my mom. I try to talk to her a few times a week, but it might be at some points it's like every day, multiple times a day. She's just, I never thought growing up that I would have that type of relationship with my mom. Not because it was bad, just because that's mom, you know. But as I got older and wiser, you start realizing all those people in your life that were actually giving you sound advice because they have lived life or been in your shoes. They know what you're talking about. So I try to tell young people the smartest thing you can do is listen to an older, wiser person. They know. They've been in their shoes. Yeah, they didn't have an iPod growing up, but I guarantee you, they've loved, had their heart broken, gone through some things, experienced some things. They know where you are. So you take, you know, hook 'em heavy on my dollar 12-foot kayak. I usually take about 6 poles to 5 to 6 poles. And people say, how do you need that many? And I'm like, the rods are different and they have different lures. I'm going to be swapping and switching around stuff. So it's just so much easier to grab a pole. I used to think back in the day when I would watch the pro anglers, you know, in their big bass boat, and they had just a rack full of rods. And I'm like, why do you need that many rods? You're not even going to use all those in that day. And I start reading up more about it, and they're switching the rod because it's a different lure, you know, for different hardware. So you know, it made sense. It makes sense in application. So many times when we ask a question about something, it doesn't make sense because we might be ignorant to the situation or inexperienced, but you keep on living, and you keep, the more and more you get into it, you start realizing that there is a reason, you know, something is done a certain way. So, yeah. Rings on your tube. You know, the rings on my tube, some of them got a little rusted. Some of them got a little rusted, but the thing is about drying things out is, I mean, I try to make sure I air dry it, not just dry it in a container or something like that. I make sure I air dry it. Both sides can get. I used to hang it up from the hook where I hang my kayak up. So, and some of the stuff they say is stainless, but some of it looks just like a gold. I know it's not like brass or anything like that. But those silver ones are definitely they've kind of rusted up in spots. But as long as they hold their integrity, I'm fine with that. You like the longer fishing videos? Okay. You know, yeah, water is a universal solvent. That is true. Cricket rods, flipping rods, frog rods, swim bait rods, trout rods, etc. Yep. You got to have different stuff. The right tool for the right job. Yeah, you can get away with using just one. People are that is a fact. But something does one thing better than the other one does. You know, so you keep on trying things out. Don't knock it. Just try it. You know. And anywho, I hope you all are enjoying this. I really appreciate the feedback. Again, SoCal Angler, you know, you all give him a nice shout out. Thank you. He sent me a message this morning and said, "Hey, I like the video. You should do a live Q&A tonight." And I was like, "Ah, man, I don't know the time." And I said, I want to do one, but I was like, you should do one. I thought about it. I thought, like, okay, I'm going to do it. You know, and he's like, hey, you should do a video, let people know to watch it. I'm like, okay. You know, this guy's speaking with wisdom. So, you know, that was good. Have I caught any largemouth bass? Surprised at every cast. Yeah, you know, the last bass I caught was, the last bass I caught. Probably in one of those videos. I took a hiatus, not extremely planned. After May 1st, I didn't fish. After, you know, May 30th, I've only gone fishing one time, and that was last Wednesday. So whatever you all saw in the last video, that was probably the last bass. I just honestly, I got tired of catching bass. I got tired of catching bass. I wanted to catch bluegill. And so I started trying to really target the bluegill, and that's what led me up to Hennessy to try to get those guys. And so even at Hennessy, I didn't really bass fish, but the bass were definitely active. So after I caught the bluegill, I was just kind of burnt out. I needed to do a lot of things here, had some work I need to do and everything. So my days of just running from the office, I mean, literally, I leave the office and I go right fishing, gone, you know, and I'm out there until after the sun goes down. And I just burn myself out. So every time even with that video, I just posted the video with me fishing with a couple of subscribers. That was back in April. I just posted now. I haven't been watching YouTube much. I haven't been posting any of the videos I've done. So I just got burnt out. So I'm glad you all still stuck with me. You know, blasphemy. How can you get tired of catching bass? You know, it wasn't that I was just tired. It just kind of, I was just, you know, I take a lot of junk fishing. I kind of do things. The addiction has me doing things to the extreme. It's so hard for me to go fishing like I used to back in the day with just one pole. I have to take more. I have to take so much gear. And I really want to I continue to try to downsize my equipment. You know, and I have it in here right now. Some of my equipment. And really, I have a whole lot of loose stuff in my cooler just sitting there at the bottom of it because it's gotten to the point where I've just been taking one box and just swap everything out and then just continue to take that one box. And so I need to put everything in, and I need to put some lures away that I'm not going to be using in the next few months and things like that. And it's time to do a reorder. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week. I think I'm going to go fishing Saturday though. I haven't decided where I'm going to go yet, but I do believe I'm going fishing Saturday. Probably not to Dan Foley. I'll go anywhere but Dan Foley right now. That lake is all through the fall, late summer, fall, and winter. I love it. But the summertime, those weeds are just everywhere, and the moss. So if you like to throw those frogs, that's some good fishing. But I actually like to fish other places during that time. And let's see. I've been kind of bored over here. I'm enjoying the slide chat. Great. I'm glad you all are enjoying it. This is really cool. I'm enjoying you all. I am really enjoying it. You know, there have been times in the past where I was a little burnt out on fishing and things like that, but I said, man, I gotta get a video for you all, because when I'm in that mode, watching other people fish gets me to say, go fishing, look how much fun they're having, you know. And so I try to, it's a give and take. I'm taking stuff from you all. I love the comments whenever someone tells me you should try this or do that. You know, for SoCal Angler, yeah, I bought those mice tails. You said try those out, so I have those back there. You know, I pick up stuff all the time. Just, you know, I learn a lot. You know, I'm never gonna stop learning. I'm always gonna try. You know. So I hope you do more of these. Yeah, I plan to. I plan to try to get a nice schedule down just for people in different time zones. I thought about maybe even, you know, doing a Saturday morning. You know, 10 a.m. here would be a noon time for the people on the East Coast, and even for other people farther west, you know, things would be, or east, whatever you want to call it, you know. It would be earlier in the morning. So I'm trying to think about, you know, if you all have some feedback on what works for you time-wise, you know, shoot it up. I'm very much, I will consider all of these things. A Pelican 10-foot kayak. I bought that one at Academy Sports. It was $250, and it wasn't the Angler edition. It's just the Apex 100, and they actually made that one into like an Angler model. I think they charged $150 more. They put a hatch on it, put rod holes and things like that. But I was able to get a lot of those components for an inexpensive price, you know, $10 here, things like that, eBay. But you know, that kayak is pretty decent. I upgraded to C. I don't know, I haven't really told you all, and that's probably another reason why when I kind of go through a spell of not fishing, it's not this bike accident where I broke my arm. It's the one years ago where I got the concussion. I ended up hurting my back, and sometimes my back just hurts. I remember being younger, you know, someone say something about back pain. I mean, when you feel like you're Superman, nothing hurts you, you know, that's cool. But when you go through a situation where you're injured, man, an injury that just doesn't heal, and that kind of messed me up. So sometimes it's not always fun to lug the kayak out or to kick around in the float tube, and so kind of put me down. You know, I haven't owned a boat yet. Many times I've just about bought a boat. I'm even considering one now. I'm always considering a boat. It's just storing it. I live in a condo, so storing it, and you know, the thing is, I tell you all the truth. For a lot of the fishing I'm doing is so close to me. It's so close to me. It's so much. To grab the kayak, throw it over my head, throw it in the truck, go fishing. I can have that thing loaded and unloaded, you know, in 30 minutes, you know. And I can get to that body of water versus having to do all the maintenance on the boat and trailer and storing it. I mean, and I think that's probably, it's not the fishing that burned me out. It was probably putting everything away. Like I said, I take too much junk out there, so. When you have, you know, to do a quick fishing trip, you know, with a boat, I would like to go out there for at minimum 2 to 3 hours minimum. I don't want to go out there just for a few minutes, but yeah, you know, when you're addicted to fishing, sometimes if you can just get 30 minutes or, you know, 10, 15 minutes, you're happy about that. Even though my addiction, if I get 10 minutes, I'm going to want 20. If I get an hour, I'm going to want 2. I'm going to try to get as much as I can, you know. And it's always hard fishing with other people because people are ready to go. So it's like, dang, you know, that's probably why I do so much fishing alone. So it's my time. I'm not gonna encroach on anyone else, or they're not gonna encroach on mine, you know. But it's cool to meet up with people, and when they're ready to go, or if I'm ready to go, we can leave. I did a video. I didn't show you all. I never posted it. We were getting a lot of rain up here, and I did something I haven't done in years. I went outside and picked up worms. Worms in a container. Worms in a container. And those worms, there was something different about those worms. They were catching fish where the night crawlers that I buy at the store, they weren't, you know. So those earthworms or night crawlers that were coming up out of the ground, they do smell. They have a stronger smell, so maybe that was the thing. You know, and that takes me back, you know, doing something stupid when I was younger. And when I say younger, I mean 18. This is how stupid, how many times have I heard a story that, you know, oh, be careful picking up worms or what have you, there's a snake. I'm like, no, how can someone be so silly to mistake a snake for a worm? That makes no sense. And one day I was mowing the yard. It was the sun was going down, it was getting really dark, and a lot of times when we were mowing along the sidewalk, the night crawlers, they start flipping and flopping and jump on the concrete, along with the spiders and anything else that was right at the surface. And man, this big night crawler jumped up on the sidewalk. At least I thought it was. Now, this should have been the first sign. When I reached down to pick this night crawler up, because I'm like, oh, I'm going fishing with that tomorrow. It moved. A night crawler doesn't know when you're going to touch it. It has to be touched before it moves. I reached for it again, and it was a snake, and that scared the mess out of me. I'm usually not afraid of snakes. I'm usually not afraid of snakes at all. And I mean, back home you have snakes. You have water moccasins. They line the pond, or you know, the body of water. And but it was only one time my scariest snake encounter. I was fishing, and I was having a good time. It was in the springtime, so all the snakes were out, and there were snakes everywhere, and I was antagonizing snakes. I was just big and bold that day, throwing rocks at them, moving them, running them, shooing them away. And finally I shoot the smaller snake off, probably 2 feet or more, and I shoot it into the water, but instead of it running away, it turned around and just looked at me. Here's a little toy snake I got. I've been wanting to put that in the ground to scare somebody. But anywho, that snake turned back and was just looking at me. And I'm fishing with my lure, and I'm like, now why is that snake looking at me? You know, and this is probably coincidence, but I'm thinking, why is that snake looking at me? And I'm throwing my fishing lure at it now, and it just kind of moved to the side. It kept looking at me. And the way I fish when I'm on the bank is I walk along the bank and I cast and I cast and I cast. When I looked down to the left, I saw the biggest water moccasin I've ever seen in my life. And it was balled up, curled up, coiled up, right beside me. And it was looking at me. And it freaked me out so bad I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. And I was kind of shaking. I mean, literally, you're shaking in your boots. And I was so, it petrified me because I'm always able to find a snake, and I didn't see the snake. And even still, I was telling my brother, Justin, there's a snake beside me. There's a snake beside me. I couldn't even talk, you know. And he's like, what's going on? I said, don't come over here. Don't move. Because the thing is that was so scary about that is that snake could have bit me at any time it wanted to. And if I would have made that next step to the left, it would have tagged me. And my brother, he's bigger and stronger than I am. He picked me up literally and kind of moved me. Once he moved me, I was able to move. But at that point, I was shell-shocked. Everywhere I looked, I felt like snakes were looking at me. Man, you talking about, I stopped fishing for a few days after that. That was the scariest time ever, you know. And that's the thing, yeah, you know, if I had a gun, that one would have been the perfect one to shoot. You know, a snake charmer, boom. That thing was huge, but you know, I felt like a bit undergunned with that Astin FS10. I know the Astin kayaks, you know. I was going kayak fishing, yeah, that, you know, Kodiak said that's why he doesn't fish out of a kayak. That's a scary thing. when I'm back home in Arkansas, I'm a if a kayak jump in a kayak with me, I mean, if a snake jumps in a kayak with me, it's both of us don't want to be in there. He wouldn't want to be in there with me, and I wouldn't want to be in there with him. You know, that'd just be a bad situation. My uncle, he was bitten by a water moccasin. He was in his boat, and he caught a fish, and he reached his hand in the water to rinse his hand off, and when he pulled his hand back up, there was a snake on it, and he ended up slinging it into the boat with him. So he's trying to get the boat out, trying to get the snake out the boat, and the snake is trying to get out, you know. But he was fishing at, I believe, like I told you, on my favorite location to fish, Eagle Lake, and that's like 2 hours from the next hospital. So he had to be extremely calm to load his boat up, get everything ready, and then drive 2 hours to the hospital. Now, he was speeding, trying to get out of the woods, but you know, that's a scary situation to be deep in the woods. And yeah, I know Lake Conway. Who's Kodiak? I know Lake Conway. I'm not too far away from Conway. Well, Conway is 2 hours probably from where I go down. But you know, that's the thing. Some of those lakes down there got, you know, they have alligators and other stuff in there too. So I don't know. I see some people fishing in Florida. They're in their kayak, and there was one guy fishing with his dog. He was fishing with a puppy in a kayak. This is on YouTube. Fishing with a puppy in a kayak. The doggone puppy jumped out of the kayak, and there was an alligator in the water, and it scared the mess out of him. He's trying to get his dog before the alligator can get it. I'm like, why are you in that kayak, you know, with the alligator? You know, I wouldn't do that. I really don't want to. What's up, Drake? Drake Elliott, that's my cousin. That is my younger cousin. If you all saw me outfished by a hunter and a Drake, I was Drake in that video. If you all are ever, you know, into wanting to change your lifestyle, fitness-wise, that guy, he knows a lot. He's a personal trainer, and it's actually his passion. So he gets me these guns. You know, he is, so Drake, I'll see you real soon, man. We'll see you real soon. Yeah. No, I'm not from Mississippi. You know, right beside Mississippi. You know, what y'all hear in the accent and everything else. I'm a country boy. I'm a country boy. I love cows. I love to be in the woods. You know, I love California. It's nice, but I tell you the truth. I would love to one day move back to the country and get a few acres or more of land and throw some cows out there and just work the land. I love to just be out there with them. And you know, doggone, I'm telling you, even the smell, when I smell a cow pasture, you know, things like that, it just kind of makes me happy. It makes me remember home, remember my dad's farm and things like that. So yeah, Florida, yeah. Somebody went out there and dropped off the Burmese python. Now someone is throwing Nile crocodiles out there. I mean, doggone it, you know. Somebody, here's the thing, there's a lady at Dan Foley Doris. She feeds the ducks and the fish with bread every evening. She said somebody let out 2 alligators in the water, and that was somebody else that they saw alligators in the water. And I ended up talking to the Fish and Game out there one day about that. He hasn't heard anything. I haven't seen any alligators in Dan Foley. You know, pet alligators that someone, they got too big and they let them go. I fished with my legs off the side of the kayak. I would hate to see that alligator one day. You know. Biggest bluegill or red ear? Biggest bluegill